The Muppets Take the O2 was a live stage performance featuring the Muppets, of which there's only been 8 since the franchise's inception, likely due to the Muppets relying heavily on camera trickery and the like to work as a huge ensemble, so it's rare and impressive when they dabble with these live shows. It's basically a follow-up to The Muppets Take the Ball, which was performed in the US in 2017, though adapted for a UK audience the following year. But what I want to talk about today is how David Tennant, probably the most recognisable actor to ever play Doctor Who, just turns up here and reprises his role in a Muppets crossover episode. It's pretty crazy. So about 10 minutes into the show, we're introduced to Pigs in Space, the classic sketch from The Muppet Show, which is ironically somewhat of a Star Trek parody in itself. It stars Link Hogthrob, Miss Piggy and Dr. Julius Strangepork, with this episode titled The Stolen Mirth, a homage to the 2008 Doctor Who episode The Stolen Earth, which starred David Tennant's 10th Doctor. Mirth, by the way, being another word for amusement or laughter. The episode opens with the crew unable to translate British slang, requesting an interpreter. It's just then that we hear the familiar sound of the TARDIS materialising, and David Tennant steps aboard their ship in full costume as the 10th Doctor.
What business do you have with this planet? Let me tell you, these people are protected. By the Doctor. Who? Yes. Doctor. Exactly. Wait, what?
Now, he played the Doctor from 2005 to 2010, only really returning on screen in full costume like this once for the show's 50th anniversary episode in 2013. So for him to agree to do something like this 8 years later and still look pretty much the same as he did back then is something quite special. I feel like the current state of Doctor Who has kind of made people look back and appreciate the older series more, hence David Tennant being used a lot more in marketing and stuff like that, with this Muppets crossover being a big contribution. The simple fact is that he's more of a draw for the audience, and I can't argue with that. He was the face of the show during its most popular era, an era which fans now look back on nostalgically. Now returning to the Muppets. The Doctor promptly deems the crew space swine, mistaking them for an alien incursion and thus a threat to the people of Earth. Scanning their console with his sonic screwdriver in an attempt to identify the Muppets, he comments that their ship is neither Slitheen or Sontaran technology. Link then refers to the Doctor's Sonic as a cute little lightsaber, much to the dissatisfaction of the Doctor, who remarks that his device is much cooler, in a small dig at Star Wars. The main part of the sketch involves Link dying and subsequently being sent to the regeneration chamber. Regeneration being an ability that only Time Lords such as the Doctor possess, enabling them to cheat death and in doing so change their appearance. So being thrown into a chamber isn't how it works in the show, but it's done to serve the comedy sketch and you get the idea. Anyway, we get to see Link die like 12 times, which is a little dark, and each time regenerating into a familiar Muppet character dressed as an incarnation of the Doctor. These are as follows: Sam the Eagle as William Hartnell's first Doctor, Gonzo as Patrick Troughton's second Doctor, Pepe as John Pertwee's third Doctor, Fozzie as Tom Baker's fourth Doctor, Scooter as Peter Davison's fifth Doctor, Lips as Colin Baker's 6th Doctor, Dr. Bunsen Honeydew as Sylvester McCoy's 7th Doctor, Uncle Deadly as Paul McGann's 8th Doctor, Rizzo as Christopher Eccleston's 9th Doctor, which is incredibly ironic as both Christopher Eccleston and Steve Whitmire, who performed Rizzo, had some kind of fallout with the people behind their respective franchises and are no longer associated with them. So I wonder if that was intentional or not. Kermit as David Tennant's 10th Doctor, Walter as Matt Smith's 11th Doctor, and Floyd as Peter Capaldi's 12th Doctor. This notably omits John Hurt's War Doctor, which is a shame, as I think Waldorf would have been a perfect stand-in there. And yeah, let's not talk about this particular era of the show. To be fair, at the time nobody could have anticipated just how bad things would get, but yeah. Then the episode wraps up and we get to see David Tennant fanboying about Muppets to Scooter, which is great.
Do you see all
Yes,
the Muppets?
all the Muppets
are backstage.
And you know what?
Yeah,
they're backstage right now. And
yeah, there's like Kermit.
yeah,
and
there they are.
Disney, and there's Gods over there.
Yeah, and feel free to mingle.
Yeah.
You can meet them all just over in the wings.
Yeah, literally,
We gotta keep the show
literally just
moving.
out there.
That's not without one more reference, however, being Tennant's last words as the Doctor.
I don't want to go.
Just about 10 steps that way and they'll be even closer.
But I don't want to go.
Yeah, nobody ever does.
What's really interesting though is that this Friday performance featured David Tennant, whilst the Saturday show had 5th Doctor actor Peter Davison in his place. Since he was the Doctor during the 80s, he's obviously a lot older, but still dons his original outfit, which is really cool. The script for both of these performances is pretty much identical, though the title is now Mirthshock to instead reference the 1982 story Earthshock, that starred Davison. Upon leaving, he exclaims "Mustache," a line of the 5th Doctor's from the 1983 episode The 5 Doctors.
Sorry, mustache.
Sorry, mustache. Join us again next week at customer service to complain about this incredibly inadequate episode of It's in Space!
We also see the Doctor return at the end of the show to sing Rainbow Connection with the rest of the cast, which includes Kylie Minogue, who actually briefly played a companion of the 10th Doctor's, so yeah, that's a thing. Overall, this was just a really fun crossover to see, featuring 2 of my favourite franchises that you really wouldn't draw any similarities to at all, and yet they've both referenced each other within their own material.
1979. Hell of a year. China invades Vietnam. The Muppet movie. Love that film.
It's a small world apparently. But if you enjoyed this video, I'm pretty sure the full Muppets Take the O2 show is just on YouTube to watch, so feel free to take a look, whilst you can check out my own Muppets and Doctor Who playlist for more stuff like this, whilst any likes and subscribers are really appreciated. Thank you all for watching.